First hashtag we have is the hashtag on an international day. Yes, you heard me right. Today is observed as International Women's Day for Peace and Disarmament. International Women's Day for Peace and Disarmament. Now, the International Women's Day for Peace and Disarmament is commemorated on May 24th. It is a day to celebrate women's voices for a world free from the threat of nuclear arms. Now, whenever we celebrate this day, we celebrate diplomacy, human decency, and a violence-free, peaceful future. For generations, the only real part that women were allowed to play is armed conflict was that of grieving women left behind while their sons, their husbands, and their brothers went off to war. Now, the establishment of this day marks a significant change in women's role in conflict. Now, women are eager to step out even into war zones, and they have made their voices to be heard. So this day is also about spreading awareness of the terror of nuclear weapons. It's safe to say Happy International Women's Day for Peace and Disarmament. Please choose peace. And whenever you want to start a war, please think about the women and think about the children whenever you want to start a war. Happy International Day for Peace and Armed Disarmament. We move on from the International Day now to something that is trending, and that is the man MD Tayemu. MD Tayemu is trending with 80,000 tweets. YouTuber MD Tayemu, who specializes in helping Nigerians relocate to the United Kingdom, disclosed that Nigerians migrating to the UK use schooling as a ploy to gain entry into the country. Tayemu made this known in an interview with BBC that went viral just yesterday. He said, "So the student thing is not real. It is not like a lot of these people, their priorities shifted real fast." Now, in the video that went viral after the UK enacted a law that will prevent Nigerian students and others from studying in the UK 24, the UK will remove the permission for international students to switch out of a student route into work route before their studies have been completed to prevent the misuse of the visa system. Now, why are a lot of Nigerians blaming him? They're blaming him because he went on BBC and for some persons, they are saying he went on BBC and he just opened his mouth to talk without restrictions. Well, a lot of Nigerians are definitely blaming him. Let's take a look at the tweet that followed this hashtag. MD Tayemu at MD Tayemu tweeted, "I am deeply and sincerely sorry. If you come across this, please share it to everyone on every platform you've shared or seen the other clips. Thank you, thank you." Well, netizens Dr. Penking at Dr. Penking tweeted, "This is MD Tayemu on his way to UK in September 2022. He entered the UK with the same defenseman and lineage with his mouth." Well, another netizen called Solomon Buchi at Solomon Buchi tweeted, "An Asian will not do what MD Tayemu did. Those Pakistanis, Indians, Bangladeshis, etc., they would never. And guess what? They are the highest earners in the UK, US, Canada, above the nationals. Their communal spirit is so strong." Well, another netizen, Solomon Buchi also tweeted, Solomon Buchi at Solomon Buchi also tweeted, "MD Tayemuy's crime was not speaking with discretion. It sounded like he was glad to be on BBC. However, he's not the reason the Home Office made the new policy. The UK government already knew." At Yaba Left Online tweeted, "I am deeply sorry. YouTuber MD Tayemu apologizes to Nigerians after getting dragged over the BBC interview." Well, another netizen called Idongisit Udoewa at Idongisit Udoewa tweeted, "I don't think that the intel provided by MD Timiu Ali. The Omar Ali just took the bait. Just like the case of Judas, Jesus already knew the plan, but of course someone must take the fall. Well, your opinion solely remains yours and not that of Spectrum Television. We move on to more tweets now from Daniel Rega at Daniel Rega, who tweeted, MD Timiu is a mindless clown. Nigerians are already being stigmatized. Our country has a negative image, but instead of correcting the wrong perceptions, he deliberately threw Nigerians under the bus for views and cheap clout. Ignorance is a disease. Hope karma visits him soon. Like I said, your opinion totally remains yours and not that of Spectrum Television. We move on to more tweets now from James at Mr. Payne. James at Mr. Payne tweeted, see the Nigerian vlogger MD Timiu, who revealed to the UK authorities the latest student visa method most Nigerians now use to escape poverty away from the country, leading to UK's authorities permanently banning Nigerian students from bringing their families to the UK. Well, the BBC interview, well, everyone is talking about, it's just an interview of this MD Timiu telling the interviewer that Nigerian students bring in dependents who later on like feed off the economy. Let's just take a look at the video from the BBC interview. Of course, we give credit to BBC.
Student visa to come to the UK. Because there's new information regarding the student routes to the UK. Last year, these hundreds of videos are guides on how to get a student visa to come to the UK. Because there's new information regarding the student routes to the UK. Last year, a fifth of international student visas were issued to Nigerians, 120,000 people in total, half of them students, half their dependents. But MD believes many are actually coming not for a new qualification, so much as a new life.
So the student thing is not real. It's not like they need the degrees. They need the degree as an access route to come into the country. So a lot of these people.
Well, what's said and what's done is done. Of course, in this interview, we give credit to BBC. In this interview, MD Timiu just went on to say that some persons just use study as a guise to come into the UK, and Nigerians are used to bringing dependents into the country who later on will change their study visas to work visas. And Nigerians have been attacking him, dragging him like a rope, dragging him like fresh agege bread. Well, let's move on and look at more tweets. Punch newspapers at Mobile Punch tweeted, Jakpa, YouTuber Timiu apologizes over comment on BBC interview. Nigerian YouTuber MD Timiu has apologized over his comment about Nigerian students studying in the United Kingdom in an interview with the British Broadcasting Corporation. The YouTuber made the apology in a video he shared on his YouTube account on Wednesday, that's today, following the backlash he faced after the interview. Timiu, who is known for advising Nigerians on studying in the United Kingdom, claimed that many of them were not looking for new qualifications but to start a life abroad. Speaking in a video he shared on Wednesday, faces, and so many Nigerians are asking him, Oga, who sent you? Who exactly sent you? Now he went on to say, I am doing this from He said, I am doing this from the reflection and truthfulness of my heart that you've seen in the interview/news feature. Please, I am sorry for any inconvenience this may have caused you. If what you have seen being circulated has made you uncomfortable in any way, I am sorry, deeply and sincerely sorry. And why do I say sorry? Because for whatever pain that you feel, I feel even more. Because if I met you in person, if we were able to sit on the same space, probably engage, there's nothing in my heart for you other than love, progress and positive support. People who know me in the world know that this is what I have got. Now, he went on to say there's no other motivation than to grant an interview to speak on the challenges genuinely faced by the Black community. Well, it just leads us to the question. Many people asking him, Oga, who sent you? If you knew that you would not be able to, keep your mouth shut. We know that these things are happening, but you're a Nigerian. You came into the UK using the same route. You were a dependent before you got an admission and started working. Why use your mouth to shut the border for your kinsmen and fellow Nigerians? Well, let's just take a look at his apology.
Good morning, everybody. This is not a standard video or the regular kind of video that I'll do. I am doing this without any script or anybody telling me what to say and how to say it. I'm doing this from the reflections and the truthfulness of my heart. That if you have seen the interview/news feature, please, I am sorry for any inconvenience that this may have cost you. I am sorry for any inconvenience this may have cost you. If what you have seen, been circulated, what you watched, what we watched, has made you uncomfortable in any way at all, I want to say,
well, this apology, in Nigerian term, Gen Z would say this apology is not giving. The apology is not really giving. It's just there. Nigerians are definitely still angry with this man called MD Timeu. Well, let's take a look at more tweets now. Punch newspapers and Mobile Punch still tweeted, why Nigerian students in the UK bring family over. So apparently the backstory of this is another netizen living outside called Emeka Okorocha, corrected the impression. Let's take a look at this tweet. Following the backlash over the comments of a Nigerian YouTuber, MD Timeu, in an interview with the British Broadcasting Corporation, netizens pulled up an interview video of a Nigerian doctor, Emeka Okorocha, speaking on why Nigerians studying in the UK bring their families. While Timeu had stated in a viral video on Tuesday night that most of the people who enrolled for study in the country merely saw it as an alternative means of leaving Nigeria, adding that many of them were not looking for new degrees but to start a new life abroad. In an interview with GB News, which went viral this morning, Wednesday morning, Okorocha stated that Nigerian students bring their families to the UK so that their families can benefit from growing up in a developed country. Okorocha went on to say that Nigerians who move overseas have the option of returning home and implementing what they have learned. He said, you have to understand where these people are coming from. Imagine leaving your own country and your own family. You are coming to a new country to better your education, job, and lifestyle. You can't just leave everyone there. You also want to bring people in there so that they can also develop. In that country as well. Okay, right now we give credit to GB News UK, and we're going to bring you Okorocha's video.
GB News and Dr. Emeka, you appear on all of our programs. You are absolutely proud of your Nigerian heritage and your British present, and you're there in the health service and you're doing great stuff, and that's great, and we love that. But when you look at these numbers, frankly, if every single person that comes from Nigeria as a student is then allowed to bring a dependent relative, it's a bit of a joke, isn't it?
I wouldn't say that. I think you have to understand where these people are coming from. Imagine leaving your country, your home country, your whole family, you're coming to a new country in, a search of better education, better jobs, a better lifestyle. You can't just leave everyone there. You also want to bring people in there so they can also develop in that country as well. And being somebody who was a product of that, because when I came many, many years ago, my dad came as a doctor, as a surgeon, to come work here in the NHS. At that point, myself and my siblings, we were dependents. We were young. We couldn't work. We were just living at the time. We didn't have citizenship. We had to wait and get our British passports. And then we were able to go through the system. And I was able to school here, go to medical school here. My sister was able to school here.
No, you've done very well. You've done incredibly well. And that's terrific. And that's an example
we've been exactly in that
of how
position.
this can work. What I'm saying
when
to
it
you,
works.
What I'm saying to you is, what are the, there you are working for the NHS.
Well, the legal migration shock is still ongoing. While so many persons, looking at Dr. Okorta's story, his father came into the UK as a surgeon and he brought him into the UK just as a child. And right about now, he has grown in the UK, studied in the UK, and is now a doctor living in the UK. According to him, it is hard for a family, a married man to just move to the UK without carrying his wife and his kids. However, the UK government has placed a travel ban on legal migration, saying Nigerians, especially other persons coming into the UK from January 2024, will not be allowed to bring in dependents. Well, we move from everything UK to the hashtag Canada. Now, the hashtag Canada is trending with 198,000 tweets. Nigerians advocated that if truly you want to jackpot, you should go to Canada. Well, of course, there's been a lot of interesting tweets following Canada. We take a look at this tweet from Otumba at ManLikeIC, who tweeted, "My advice, if you have plans to jackpot when you land in the UK or Canada, make friends with the Indians. They are more helpful than Nigerians in diaspora." Well, another netizen called Forgo at Forgo tweeted, "No cap. When my sis got to Canada, she was surrounded by Indians and she said they are such nice people. They offered to get her a job and were nice to her generally." Well, another netizen called Doctor at Waka Waka Doctor tweeted, "These are some countries that are alternatives to the UK. Some are more affordable, some allow you move with family." And he went on to list Finland, Sweden, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Malta, France, Denmark, Netherlands, Germany, and Portugal. Well, another netizen called RCO at Rita Onwura tweeted, "Nigerians entering USA and Canada will just post 4 pictures. Passport and boarding pass, selfie at MMIA, selfie at landing port, Shola Shobowale, welcome to a new dispensation meme." All posted while they are already settled in Toronto or Houston. Well, another netizen called Obikoya Adebowale at Obikoya Emmanuel tweeted, "Nigerians heading to Canada after UK said they can no longer come to the country with their dependents." Well, another netizen called Cross at El Cross Media Hub tweeted, "Omo, Nigerians in the UK are the very worst. You don't get this kind of behavior from Nigerians in the US and Canada." Twe. Well, another netizen called Anderson Maina at Maina Poultry decided to take it from a racism aspect, and he tweeted, "I have seen things in Canada that makes me question everything. You are out cycling and someone throws a banana peel at you or slows down when they are driving and shouts, 'Go home, monkey,' followed by expletives. I updated my mindset. Now I look at everyone with disdain, a thick skin, and a constant smile that is most fake. These experiences dehumanize you. You can't connect with people unless they are of your color. You have to fake modesty and civility, and you end up with fear and unfounded guilt. always looking over your shoulder like a criminal. Well, we take a pause there and just talk about it. Wherever you are in the world, especially Nigerians in the diaspora, know that it is never easy. It is never easy. But it's shocking to just know that racism is still ongoing in the 21st century. So here's our advice from all of us at Spectrum TV. Just stay safe and please stay out of trouble. We know so many things have happened that has given Nigeria a bad name, but you can be a positive influence. You can change the narrative. And of course, if you still have plans to Jackpot, just know that if you're going to the UK next year, you won't be allowed to bring in your dependents. So you could look at other countries or decide to probably stay in Nigeria and develop it. Well, we move from everything Jackpot to Nigeria, where the hashtag Federal Executive Council is trending with 39,000 tweets. Of course, you know that President Muhammadu Buhari presided over his last Federal Executive Council meeting today, and it was a jolly time. Let's look at the tweets that follow. The Vice President, Professor Yemi Osibanjo, at Professor Osibanjo, tweeted, "Today, President at M. Buhari presided over the valedictory Federal Executive Council meeting. I also had the pleasure of presenting the Healthcare Reform Committee report to the President and the Federal Executive Council." Well, another netizen called Are Masbal at Are Masbal tweeted, "Last Federal Executive Council meeting of President Muhammadu Buhari administration. Congratulations to those ministers who for 4 or 8 years carried the portfolio with no meaningful impact. It is time to go home. We want to renew the hope of Nigerians." Well, another netizen called MS Inagu at MS Inagu tweeted, "Breaking: President Buhari dissolves Federal Executive Council today at his administration's last Federal Executive Council meeting. Next week by now, BAT is Nigeria's official president and Buhari former president. Everything that has a beginning must have an end." Just to make a correction there, the committee was not dissolved today. Well, we move on to another tweet from Ibrahim Oyewale Rahuf at Oyewale Maruf, who tweeted, "President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday chaired the valedictory session of the Federal Executive Council meeting at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. The session, which was held at the Council chamber, was attended in person by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osibanjo, and all 44 ministers and ministers of state." Well, another netizen called Bashir Ahmed at Bashir Ahmed tweeted, "President Muhammadu Buhari presides over his last Federal Executive Council meeting as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria today at the Council chambers, the State House, Abuja. The next Federal Executive meeting will be presided over by our President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu after assembling his cabinet members in the coming week." Well, another netizen and the media house Punch newspapers at Mobile Punch tweeted, "Buhari presides over valedictory Federal Executive Council meeting. The President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired on Wednesday, presided over the valedictory Federal Executive Council meeting. It is the last one he would be presiding over as President." His media aide Buhari Salo made this known on his Facebook page as he shared photos from the event. During the Federal Executive meeting, Buhari also swore in Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission Board, and Vice President Yemi Osibanjo presented the Healthcare Reform Committee report to Buhari and the Federal Executive Council at the State House, Abuja. Well, it just seemed like everything that has a beginning definitely has an end. The last Federal Executive meeting for the President Muhammadu Buhari, and of course the Vice President Yemi Osibanjo. Every minister was in attendance here. Still talking about politics, and in Nigeria, we move to the hashtag Asari Dokubo, which is trending with 19,000 tweets. Of course, Asari Dokubo today staged a solidarity march in Abuja in support of Tinubu, and then when granted an interview, he asked those with plans to disrupt the inauguration on May 29th to stay at home. Well, let's take a look at the tweet now. Adekunle at Komiyo A tweeted, Asari Dokubo to those planning to disrupt the inauguration. He has asked them to go back to Onitsha and stay on their lane. Well, another netizen called Mula at Mula79 tweeted, they never had the balls to enforce the order yesterday. Suddenly, Asari Dokubo and his merry thugs show up later to declare that they'll be on ground till conclusion of proceedings. Today, the court suddenly grows the balls to enforce the order. Something isn't adding up. Well, another netizen called Honorable Justice at Justice Epa tweeted, the same Asari Dokubo that collected 21 million naira from IPOB to blow a pipeline in 2020 is now a faithful Nigerian supporting BAT. God abeg, help me to live long. I want to see Shekau of Boko Haram support Adamu Garba in future. Well, your opinion solely remains yours and not that of Spectrum Television. We move on to another tweet from Austin Nwabufo at Austin Nwabufo, who tweeted, recently at the Election Petition Tribunal, Asari Dokubo arrived at the tribunal with Niger Delta militants and alleged armed robbers, and with all effrontery, Festus Keyamo was jubilating to Asari Dokubo, thanking him for bringing his brother criminals to Petition Tribunal for operation. Well, we love to say your opinion solely remains yours and not that of Spectrum Television. But of course, we'll be here to give you the update of the event as it unfolds. Now we move to entertainment, where the hashtag Aduni Ade is trending with 17,900 tweets. Now, the actress Aduni Ade was called out on Murphy Afolabi's burial for allegedly owing him. Now, she has responded that she paid him. Of course, let's just go in depth into the story. Of course, you know that Murphy Afolabi, the Nollywood actor, died and was buried. However, Aduni Ade has come out to break silence on the alleged 250,000 naira debt. Aduni Ade, a Nigerian actress who was born in the United States, has denied owing the late actor Murphy Afolabi 250,000 naira before his passing. Now, on Sunday, May 14th, 2023, I love you to recall that Murphy Afolabi passed away after allegedly tripping and falling in his bathroom. However, an Islamic cleric on Monday, February 22, during the late actor's 8-day Muslim funeral rituals, charged Aduni Ade to refund the money she owed before his demise. However, just yesterday, the actress responded to this claim made by her attorney by denying it on her Instagram account. She claimed to have reimbursed the late actor the 150,000 that he had sent to her for a role in a 2021 film. The actress wrote alongside with screenshots of her statement of account. She said, sometime in July 2021, shortly before the commencement of the production, I lost my younger brother. I contacted Mr. Murphy Afolabi a few days afterwards to request for his bank account details to send him a refund, as I would be traveling to the United States for my younger brother's funeral and to spend time with the rest of my family. He insisted September 2021 and waited for his call. Mr. Murphy contacted me on 8 October 2021 and said he wanted to start a new job soon and needed me for 4 days, playing the lead, but for the same amount of 150,000 which he had paid in July. I respectfully declined and requested his bank account details and transferred the money to his bank account, the full refund of 150,000 on the same day, 8th October 2021. Well, all of this happened, and of course, netizens had a lot to say. Let's just take a look at the comments now. Instablog Niger at Instablog Niger tweeted, "Once you are hated in the industry, they will do anything to see you fall." This was Nketi's blessing statement on Adunia Day's brouhaha. Well, we move on to another tweet from Legit Gist at Legit Gist, who tweeted, "Actress Adunia Day refutes claims that she owes the late actor Murphy Afolabi a sum of 150,000 naira." Well, another netizen called Black at AXQXX tweeted, "But if it was Murphy that was owing Adunia Day and the Alpha announced publicly like that, you people wouldn't have any problem with that too." Well, another netizen called Joju why they are calling out Adunia Day to return Murphy Afolabi's 250k, which was obviously for a job they were supposed to do together at a 8-day prayer. I am sure she's not the only one owing. Well, the media house Punch newspapers at Mobile Punch tweeted, "Actress Adunia Day denies owing late Murphy Afolabi 250,000 naira. Popular actress Adunia Day has denied owing her late colleague Murphy Afolabi 250,000 naira before he died." The actress made this known in a statement signed by her lawyer, which was shared on her Instagram account on Tuesday. A Muslim cleric had called out the actress Adunia Day during the 8-day Fidal prayer for the late actor on Monday. The cleric called out Aduni and other Nollywood actors for owing Afolabi before his death. Adunia Day shared a screenshot of her bank statement saying that the actor sent her 150,000 for a movie role, which she later refunded him in 2021. The statement read in part, "Sometimes in July 2021, the late Murphy Afolabi reached out to me requiring my services for a movie production. He appealed to me stating that it was a self-funded production, that he couldn't afford my professional fee, but he would need my moral support. I asked how many scenes and durations expected of me on the set. He said 10 scenes and that I would spend 1 day. He offered to fill my car as honorarium, which payment was made on the 2nd of July 2021 for 150,000 naira. Unfortunately, on 11th July 2021, before the commencement of the production, I lost my younger brother. I contacted Mr. Murphy Afolabi a few days afterwards to request for his bank account details to send him a refund, as I would be traveling to the United States for my younger brother's funeral and to spend time with the rest of the family. He insisted I held on to the money while he figured out whether to move the shoot forward or contact me for another one. I returned to Lagos end of September 2021 and waited for his call. Mr. Murphy Afolabi contacted me on 8 October 2021 and said he wanted to start a new job soon and needed me for 4 days, playing the lead, but for the same amount of 150,000, which he paid in July. I respectfully declined requesting for his bank account details and transferred to his bank account the full refund of 150,000 on the same day." Well, where are netizens pitching their tent on this whole story? A lot of netizens are just saying it is wrong to call out somebody while offering prayers for the deceased. On your screen is, of course, Adunia Day's official statement. Adunia Day's official statement on the payment of that money, the 150,000, which of course she said she returned back to Mr. Murphy Afolabi, and she also made an official statement via her lawyer that she had refunded the money. However, netizens just have the opinion that, well, why call out a particular actress on a prayer for the deceased. Is this really right, or is it what exactly inspired this opinion? Well, we don't know what to say there, but we're just glad that the problem seems to have been solved to a reasonable extent. All right about now, we'll be going on a really short break, and when we come back, we bring you more of the trends in entertainment. Stay with us. Welcome back. Of course, the program is #trending, coming to you live from Spectrum Television. Do well to connect with us via our socials so you can be part of the conversation. I told you that when I returned, I'll be taking you to entertainment, more of the entertainment trends. And yes, the #Celine Dion is trending with 23,000 tweets. Of course, Celine Dion is trending with netizens talking about her role in the movie Love Again. Let's take a look at the tweet now. Neferati live at First Obedient tweeted, 55-year-old Celine Dion. The name alone brings tears to my eyes. One of the greatest singers ever. Well, another netizen called Four-Eyed P at the Ekeba tweeted, Love Again movie is one of the best romance movies I've watched in my life. I felt every emotion. It is such a beautiful love story and the actors are 100%. Celine Dion's facial expressions were perfect, 100%. Priyanka Chopra Jonas and Sam Hugin's chemistry was 100%. The soundtrack, 100%. Well, another netizen called HS Wish at HS Wish tweeted, and how Celine Dion talked about the only love of her life, Rennie, really touched me deep in my heart. Grief, love, tears, and joy are sometimes so near to each other. Thank you all for this little beautiful gem. #Love Again movie. Well, another netizen called Dave at Sadi B tweeted, you all should stop posting fake pictures of Celine Dion looking sick and malnourished for retweet, because that's not her. She's doing very well, and in a 2023 movie that was released sometime last month, Love Again. Well, Celine Dion herself at Celine Dion tweeted, the time to hear the full Love Again soundtrack is now. Listen to all 14 soundtracks, including Celine's newest song. Which one is your favorite? Listen or buy the album. Of course, netizens are talking about this movie Love Again like never before, because it is what is trending. If you've seen the movie Love Again, you can comment what's your favorite part. Is it the soundtrack? Is it the actor or the actresses? Or is it just the fact that Celine Dion is in this movie? Well, we move on from Celine Dion to a Nigerian and a musician trending, and that's the #Terry G. Well, Terry G is trending with 12,000 tweets. Terry G is trending with netizens recalling his Idom moment. I mean, the moment where he was just big. Well, let's take a look at the tweet. Calabar Olodo at DJ Olodo tweeted, Terry G did a song with an intro, testing microphone A. Terry G testing microphone A. He wasn't even singing, he was just testing the mic 1, 2, 3. That debut is the greatest of all Eden debut. Una too they disrespect person, all this Gen Z. Well, another netizen called Blazer at Blazer tweeted, they don't know who Terry G is. On a serious note, that guy supposed day Hall of Fame for contour music. Well, another netizen called Chris at Jiggy Jigga tweeted, "Hear me out. Nobody's prime is touching Terry G's prime. Free Madness Part 1 to 5 had the street. People will legit be going about their day, and then Free Madness will come on and they will legit go mad, especially that part 3. Well, Terry G is a living legend." We move on from everything Terry G to the hashtag good neighbor, and which is trending with 18,000 tweets. And we're asking the question today, are you a good neighbor? Kindness, they say, is a seed, an open check which you pay forward. Who is your neighbor, and are you a good neighbor? Well, let's take a look at the tweets now. Wives and Mothers at Wives and Mothers tweeted. Wives and Mothers at Wives and Mothers tweeted this, an interesting thread. He said, "My husband got a call from my neighbor around 1:30 a.m. He said he wanted to see him, and he peeped through the balcony and saw he was waiting at the door. He wore his clothes and went to meet him downstairs. After a short while, my husband rushed upstairs. I asked what was wrong. Now, the next tweet, he told me his wife is in labor and his car wouldn't start. He took the car keys and rushed downstairs. They all got into the car and drove to the hospital. I could not sleep again, so I started my worship session and waited. I was the one to do school runs today, so I woke up earlier to prepare the kids for school. He later called by 6:30 that she just had a baby boy. I was so happy, I told the kids, Mommy Annie has just delivered another baby. They were so excited. He said he would be coming home the next week to take his bath and drop the kids at school. When praying for a good location, good environment, good apartment, don't forget to pray for good neighbors. The neighbor role in our lives may seem insignificant, but they are very important to our growth and well-being. Well, the importance of a good neighbor cannot be overemphasized. Let's take a look at more tweets now. Juliet Chinelo at Junel tweeted, "In 2020, I passed out in my room. Fortunately, my neighbor came to borrow a blender, but I wasn't responding. He got worried and alerted other neighbors. They broke my door and found me unconscious. They took me to the hospital, paid all the bills, and always ensured to check on me." Another netizen called Billy Keys Morenike at Billy Murphy tweeted, "Now I'm truly wondering if living in the diaspora is a different experience. The way some folks will be minding their business, that's if they are not even racist. You'll be left wondering if you love your neighbor as yourself is an African proverb. God bless good neighbors." Well, another netizen called Folarin Oleya Day at Fole09 tweeted, "Now my wife went into labor at home. I was shaking. It was our neighbor who took delivery of the baby in our bedroom before we later went to the hospital. When we got back from the hospital, she had cleaned all the fluid on the floor and disinfected our apartment." Well, another netizen called Brown Sugar at Chris 2002 tweeted, "Back in 2018, I was staying alone and suddenly took ill and couldn't move. I managed to crawl to my door and was banging faintly at the door. My neighbor heard the bang, came to the door, saw me on the floor, and called his nurse, who came and treated me at home." Well, another netizen called Daniel Najabong at Daniel the Coach tweeted, "I'd retired to bed when a neighbor called me and asked whether my car was available. His neighbor had an altercation with her husband and she had been stabbed with a broken bottle. I took them to the hospital and didn't leave until she was stable. Neighborliness is a blessing." Another netizen called Ada at Bonkale tweeted, "Mom fell ill in the middle of the night. Neighbor heard the noise going on in the flat and came. He immediately told us to get into his car, drove to 3 different hospitals that kept rejecting her until we landed in Lasut. We lost her, but I will never forget that gesture." And she also tweeted, "I paid the gesture back. His wife traveled to Mecca and left her 4-month-old baby and her younger siblings with us. My siblings and I took turns to take care of the baby whenever she cried at midnight. Till date, we are very clothes. Well, we could go on and on just reading more amazing tweets, but one thing to learn is if you want a good neighbor, you should be a good neighbor. Neighborliness, they say, is a blessing. How do you relate to the persons around you? Kindness is an open check you pay forward. You never know when you need kindness. Well, this is where we wrap up the show for today. I always say it's always an interesting time on #trending. We'll see you again tomorrow. Make it a date with us. I always say, please stay safe and stay out of trouble. My name is Blessing Dixon. See you tomorrow. Au revoir.